How the heck are everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a fantastic video in Watcher of Realms we have for you today. As you can see, I am not alone. I am joined by the great 𝐀𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐨. Do you want to introduce yourself, 𝐀𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐨?
Hi, I'm 𝐀𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐨. I like to do fusion events in games, and so I'm kind of here to help out anybody who wants to learn how to do them.
Guys, 𝐀𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐨 is a very bright, very valuable member of my community with a lot of programming expertise, and you might recognize his voice from when we did Lunaria content. He helped the original version of our interactive shard tracker calendar. So in this video, you are going to see the new and improved, even better version that him and I have come up to. In many ways, him. I don't need to take much credit for this, but you can see, guys, the shard summoning event is live. We can see this beautiful picture of 𝐴𝐿 in the top right corner. Actually, though, if we go to our notices here, you can see she's now available, but they've given us like a nice little infographic calendar, which is nice in that it's allowed us now to have values to fill in to, I think, the elevated calendar we're about to present to you. But this is a nice little baseline. So without further ado, let's reveal our calendar. And 𝐀𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐨, maybe you can just start us off, just take us through maybe column by column and explain what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, we start off with just, your basic title, the title of the event or trial in the game, and then a little bit of a description about what different raids or activities contribute to that. From there, we just show that there's an event or a tournament, what style of event that we are doing, and then how many fragments are involved with that, including any possible podium fragments that you might be able to get from placing, first, second, or third in your particular tournament. After that, we show the total number of available fragments that you can grab from any given event, and then there's a couple of checkboxes where you can either say that I got a partial amount. So in the event that the let's think like the spiritual altar, where you could get 5 fragments if you got part of the way through, or you could get 15 if you got completely through it. Well, you can choose the partial if you only got the 5, or you can choose the complete if you got the 15. And then in the following column after that, we have the podium rewards, where the if you are competing in the Vault of the Sands this week, the top reward for that is 10. The second place reward is 7, and the third place reward is 5. So if you end up podiuming in that particular event, then you would place the number of shards that you got there.
Excellent. And then just to take you guys through the end of it, I think this is as clean as anything. Thank you so much, 𝐀𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐨. We've just got the days of the week, the dates when everything's going to happen. Quite clearly, it's color-coded. Green represents events, just like in the game. Red represents Oracle's Trials, or more simply known, tournaments. And then we do have 2 things that are yellow that I wanted to point out. One of these, the Spiritual Altar, is an event, as you can see, but the Arrival of Heroes is a tournament or an Oracle's Trial. However, we've color-coded them both yellow. That's because with a lot of these fusions, especially if you are a free-to-play player, even a low-spender player, or maybe you're just hoarding your summons for some crazy event that we don't know about yet, you might not want to summon every weekend or summon for either of these events. So we make these very clearly noted, so you know when they're coming and when you might want to skip them. So that's why they got a special color. Then going all the way to the right, I'll just describe this. We have the points for max shards, and these numbers, if they are red, they are speculative, right? So they are based on either these 3 events that we know that are in black, these 3 events that are live in game now as of this morning, or we're taking numbers from the past fusions, so from Isolde, and more importantly, from the most recent fusion, Lunaria. So I think this is great. Can you explain to me, 𝐀𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐨, how we would use this to fill out and what happens? Like, why does this cross out? What are these numbers that appear at the bottom? What do we do with these blank spaces and these black spaces? You want to walk me through that?
Yeah. So maybe we just think about this as we want to plan how we want to do our fusion. Are we going for one particular copy of 𝐴𝐿, or do we want to get that A1 awakening as well and try to get 2 copies of 𝐴𝐿? So to start out, you can kind of just check whichever boxes you want, whichever events you think you really want to participate in. Try to total them all up and see if you got to 75 if you're just trying to get for that 1 copy of 𝐴𝐿. If you're trying to get 2 copies of 𝐴𝐿, it's going to be almost required that you do every single one of these events and you get the complete number of shards, and then you're going to need podium rewards on top of that. So in the podium rewards, we would then just enter, if I got first in Vault of Sands, we'd enter 10. And then that would add to our column.
And that updates here on the bottom as well?
Yes. And all the partials and all the completes also add to that. So if we were to select, if you were trying to get both copies, you would need to do the arena, and we completed it. So it kind of checks that row out across the calendar. So as you're going through this entire fusion over the next couple of weeks, you can really say, oh, I'm done with this, and I'm done with this, and I'm done with this, and it kind of displays that on the calendar for you.
Excellent. Yeah, and this is a great way to even plan out beforehand, right? So I probably shouldn't have checked all of those while you're talking, but I was just trying to visualize what it looks like as it tallies up. But essentially, let's say and this is a great, I guess, tip moment as well. Let's say you don't like farming gold, or you don't have much gold, and you want to save your summons for the next time Hatset comes on a 10x or something, right? You can go through and be like, all right, what am I going to skip? Or rather, which ones do I want to do? So I don't want to do these two summoning ones, so the Spiritual Altar, and I don't want to do the Rivals of Hero. We also know that we are going to get the Tales of the Smith, or the gear leveling event, right? We're going to have 2 of those. So if we ignore those, you can just add it up and click through, and you can really, of course, you can just do the math, but this is a great way to just visualize, all right, I'm going to full complete all this stuff. I'm going to straight up skip the Spiritual Altars. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's skip the Tales of the Smith. Let's save our gold for another day. We'll go for the Corridor, so on. We'll skip that one. Then we'll take the Duel of the Champions, and then we'll take Mystery Artifact. And look at that. You're at 70 shards already. So you are 70 out of 75 of the way there. So I just need to hunt for 5 more. So maybe I get 3rd place in one of these tournaments. Maybe I got 1st place in one of these tournaments, and then I can skip an extra event. Maybe I go for those partial rewards, right, from the Spiritual Altar. Look at that. All of a sudden it adds up to 75. So the black number is going to be the total number of everything without the podiums, and then the red will be your actual final raw number, podiums included. So pretty cool stuff. Anything else? Like, what is this daily focus at the bottom? You want to explain that to me, 𝐀𝐞𝐫?
Yeah, the daily focus is kind of a customizable thing. So here's kind of when I originally filled it out. I filled out, I'm going to work on Gear Raid 2 for the next couple of days. I will probably complete that before, Thursday, and that may open up a different day, and I need to update my spreadsheet. But you'll notice on Friday, for example, I don't plan on really using anything beyond my base.
For your daily quests, your 3 gear raids, things like that.
So since I know that I'm going to only do the bare minimums for Friday, I'm going to probably be doing XP farming or gold farming that day, because those are going to be the opportune days to utilize those resources.
Yeah, and that's very cool with the daily thing. Something I want to demonstrate is these are just the examples 𝐀𝐞𝐫 put in, what he's planning on following. But like you said, right? Maybe you'll finish early on Wednesday, and then this could also be a gear raid day, something like that. Or if people don't want to prioritize the gear raid 2 and 3 like you do, maybe they're not farming as high and they want to focus on other areas. Maybe they know they're going to do summons. They could skip and fill in. Maybe this is an XP raid day, things like that, right? So it's completely customizable.
Absolutely. Oh, and I also want to mention that the reason why October 16th is red is the date will actually be tracked as we move along throughout the calendar. So you'll be able to track exactly where you're at.
Amazing. You really thought of everything. So I guess that the way we can wrap this up now is, do you want to explain to me what this is in the bottom left behind my little logo? These little instructions?
Yeah, so if you would like to utilize this calendar to be able to plan out your summoning or your shard event, then you just want to go click File in the top left corner, make a copy of it, and that will allow you to have your own special copy of this so that you can do all of your planning.
And 𝐀𝐞𝐫, no one has to worry, right, about having to manually update the values themselves once we, those red speculative numbers you guys see on the side, as we update all that. You have a remote way of doing that, right?
Yeah, we have another spreadsheet that's actually providing the data to this thing. So if there's any changes that need to be made, anything that we haven't seen initially with the calendar that was released, we can kind of update it after the fact.
Absolutely. All right, I think that covers everything, right, man?
I think so. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for helping me so much with this. You guys have seen my basic calendars. This is a whole nother level, so I know I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone else does as well. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you want to comment, if you have any questions for 𝐀𝐞𝐫 or myself, let us know. I'm sure we'll both read all the comments and answer all of that. And most importantly, if you want to download the sheet, please do it. It will be updating day by day by day with any information you need, and it's super customizable, as you saw. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.